Listen carefully. This isn't a speech meant to comfort you. I'm not here to hold your hand, to tell you that you're doing your best or that everything will work out. That kind of lie is for people who are already finished. I'm talking to you, the one who still feels that irritation in their chest, the one who knows deep down that the life they're living is smaller than what they could dominate. If you didn't feel that, you wouldn't be listening. And if you think that alone makes you special, you're already wrong. You want something, don't you? Not in the weak, half-hearted way where you say you do, but secretly hope someone else hands it to you. You want it in a way that makes you uncomfortable, in a way that makes sleep difficult. But let me be clear from the start. Wanting isn't rare. Everyone wants. Losers want. The difference is whether you're willing to destroy the version of yourself that keeps settling for scraps. Right now, you're average. Don't flinch. Accept it. Average thoughts, average habits, average excuses. You wake up, you perform, you survive, and you call that effort. But survival isn't dominance. Functioning isn't winning. And effort without results is just self-satisfaction dressed up as virtue. The world doesn't care how hard it felt. It only responds to what you actually take. You've been trained to believe that being humble makes you admirable, that blending in keeps you safe, that standing out is dangerous, that arrogance is ugly. Good. Stay like that if you want to remain invisible. But don't pretend you're aiming high while kneeling in front of everyone else's expectations. Humility is a tool, not a lifestyle. When it becomes your identity, it's just fear with better marketing. Let me tell you something you won't hear anywhere else. If you are not willing to be hated for your ambition, you don't deserve to achieve it. The moment you decide to put yourself first, truly first, you will offend people. You will be called selfish, obsessed, unbalanced. And that's how you'll know you're finally doing it right. Approval is the drug of the mediocre. Look at yourself honestly. Not the image you show others. Not the excuses you repeat when things don't work out. Look at the gap between what you claim you want and what you actually do every day. That gap? That's your real character. And right now, it's pathetic. Not because you can't do more, but because you won't. You wait for motivation like it's some divine signal. You wait to feel ready. You wait for the perfect conditions. That's not caution. That's cowardice disguised as intelligence. People like you love potential because it lets you feel special without taking responsibility. Potential is useless. It doesn't scare anyone. It doesn't change anything. Only execution does. You think confidence comes from success. Wrong. Confidence comes from obsession, from choosing one thing and grinding it into your identity until the world has no choice but to acknowledge you. Confidence isn't loud talk or fake bravado. It's the quiet certainty that even if everything collapses, you'll rebuild faster than before because you've already done it in your head 1,000 times. Right now, you're split in half. One version of you wants comfort, routine, validation, safety. The other wants domination, control, mastery, proof. These two cannot coexist. One has to die. And the longer you delay that decision, the more time you waste pretending you're conflicted instead of afraid. You say you hate losing, but you tolerate it. You say you want to be the best, but you negotiate with your limits. That contradiction is why you're stuck. People who truly hate losing don't make excuses for it. They don't romanticize the struggle. They analyze, adapt, and erase the weakness. Brutally. Without mercy. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming timing. Stop blaming other people. Every excuse you make is a confession of powerlessness. And if you're powerless, then everything you want is just fantasy. Power comes from ownership of your choices, your failures, your shortcomings. The moment you stop explaining and start owning, your entire posture changes. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because everything you do lacks intent. Scattered effort drains you. Focused obsession fuels you. Choose something, one thing, and decide that you will be better at it than anyone who shares your space. Not someday, not eventually, relentlessly. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling you to enjoy this. You won't. This path isn't fulfilling in the way movies sell it. It's isolating. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. You'll realize how replaceable you are, how far behind you actually are, how much work you've been avoiding. That realization will either break you or sharpen you. There is no third option. You want to know the truth? Talent is just permission to start. Discipline is what keeps you in the game. Ego, real ego, is what allows you to surpass everyone else. Not fragile ego that shatters at criticism, but iron ego that says, I hear you, and I'm still better. That kind of ego isn't loud, it's undeniable. Stop seeking fairness. The world isn't fair, and it never will be. Fairness is a story told to people who can't compete. Winners don't ask if something is fair. They ask if it works, if it gives them an edge, if it brings them closer to control. Morality doesn't matter if you're irrelevant. You're afraid of failing publicly, afraid of looking stupid, afraid of being judged. Let me be clear. You're already being judged. You're just being judged as insignificant. At least failure means you tried to take something that wasn't offered. At least it means you stepped forward instead of watching from the sidelines like a spectator in your own life. There will be moments when you want to quit. Not because you can't continue, but because continuing forces you to admit how weak you were before. Quitting lets you preserve the illusion that you could have been great, if only. Don't cling to that illusion. Kill it. Let reality hurt you. Pain is information. Understand this. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no opportunity, no perfect break. Even if they appear, they won't matter unless you're already dangerous on your own. The world doesn't invest in potential. It invests in proof. Become proof. You don't need more inspiration. You need standards. Ruthless ones. Standards that don't care how you feel. Standards that demand results. Hold yourself to them even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. That's where real separation happens. If you fail, good. Study it. If you fall behind, good. Adapt. If you're overwhelmed, good. That means you finally stepped outside the comfortable prison you mistook for stability. Pressure doesn't crush those who are built for it. It reveals them. I'm not telling you that you'll succeed. That would be dishonest. Most people don't. Most people retreat the moment it costs them comfort, relationships, or their self-image. The question is whether you're willing to be alone with your ambition long enough for it to become reality. So decide, right now, either continue living as a background character in your own story, or become so obsessed with your own evolution that everything else becomes secondary. One path keeps you liked. The other makes you undeniable. If you're still listening, then somewhere inside you, that decision has already been made. Now prove it.